I'm Deepak Chopra. You're watching One World with Deepak Chopra, brought to you today from the NASDAQ OMX marketplace. And my very special guest today is Paul Scialla, who's the founder of Delos Living. But before we get to that, first of all, welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Deepak. Pleasure to be here.
So, you were brought up in this area?
Yes, I grew up in New Jersey, actually.
And you were born in the hospital that I interned at.
I found that out the day before I met you, actually. Yes, I was born in Muhlenberg Hospital, which is where
Plainfield, New Jersey.
Plainfield, New Jersey, yeah. Yeah.
And
some may say coincidence, others would say no, right?
Yeah, well, it's a synchronicity for sure. That hospital doesn't exist anymore, actually.
That's right.
But we meet here so many years later, and now under totally different circumstances. You have a twin brother, by the way, who was also born in the same hospital,
That's correct.
obviously,
Yep.
same time. Your background is with Goldman Sachs, right?
Yeah.
So for many years.
Spent the last 18 years on Wall Street, the last 10 at Goldman Sachs. Was fortunate enough to have made partnership in 2008 and left the firm and moved on to my second chapter about 6 months ago.
But you've been interested in this idea of well-being for...
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, right around 2008, I actually was looking at this notion of sustainability in real estate and saw that it was about almost 100% focused on environmental thought with all the great things that have gone on with the green building movement. And for whatever reason, question popped in my head was, well, can we push this envelope a bit further and start to focus on human or biological sustainability when we build structures as opposed to just focusing on environmental health?
So a lot of people watching us don't have the vaguest idea what we're talking about. Let me explain a little bit about sustainability. You know, the environment, what we call the environment, our extended body nature, is naturally sustainable.
Correct.
You know, it's a self-balancing system, an ecosystem, and so is our body. And of course, there is violence in nature, and that's part of the food chain. But ultimately, everything is in balance, right? And our body, when it's in balance, we call that homeostasis. It's the dynamic non-change within the midst of change. But the environments we create, even the green buildings we create right now, are somehow separate instead of being an extension of our bodies.
Correct.
And you came up with this idea that not only should a building be green, but a building should be able to provide well-being and sustainability. And I noticed that you created something, or you're on the way to creating a well-being standard for buildings.
Yes, no, we actually created what we call the Well Building Standard, which was introduced on our behalf by President Clinton last year at CGI.
That's right.
It's a process.
I was there.
Yes, correct. It's a process for any developer or architect or contractor as they're building and designing structures, whether they be homes or offices or schools or libraries, to walk through step by step the proper decisions across categories like air and light and water and sound and comfort to ensure that the building will achieve what we call WELL certification at the end of the process.
And is that already in process,
yes,
right? WELL certification.
Yes, it is. As you know, we're introducing, or we have introduced the first 5 WELL certified homes in the world here in Greenwich Village, which you will be moving into one of them.
Looking forward to.
Yes. So as again, you know, your home will have about 50 amenities across these categories, things like posture supportive
Let's
flooring.
talk about them individually.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so...
I'll name some few. Yeah, so
let's
posture
start.
supportive flooring.
What does that mean?